Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to look at how minimalism can help with debt. Today we're going to be looking at how minimalism can help with debt. If you don't know me already, my name is Rachel and I do videos all about decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year. So I want to share with you why minimalism is a great way of helping with debt. So I have struggled with debt on and off throughout most of my adult life. I think it was quite easy to get into the habit of having a credit card and using the credit card every month, and it's a dangerous game because there can be times when you don't have the funds to pay it off and then it can start spiralling. I've also got myself into car finance. I have bought sofas on 0%, etc. Although they're not high interest debts, they are still a debt and it's still something that needs to be paid. I decided a couple of years ago to start a no spend year, and it kind of started with just the focus on no spending, and then it turned into minimalism, and minimalism is the thing that kind of made it easier to manage my debt and to pay it off quicker. By having a minimalist mindset, I was able to really think about how I could clear that debt and take that weight off my shoulder, and it's such a difference not having debt that it's definitely something that I would advise anybody to do. So I want to share with you how minimalism specifically can help with your debt. So when we think about a minimalistic mindset, you need to think about how you can apply that to different scenarios. So I've applied it to how I declutter and run my home. I have a very simple home with simple things. I don't buy that much. And actually you can apply a lot of those principles to your finances. The first thing that I'm going to say is that you need to really know your finances. So first of all, you need to know exactly what's coming in and exactly what is coming out and when. You need to find a way of tracking that in a spreadsheet or on a piece of paper so you know exactly where your finances are. Once you know your finances, you can then identify what areas you are spending in and you can find ways to streamline it. So knowing your finances and then being able to streamline it means you know that you can find certain areas where you could cut your spending. So if you spend a lot of money on certain categories like takeaways or clothing or meals out or activities, you could identify exactly how much you spend in those areas and look at reducing the amount that you spend. So it's kind of setting yourself a bit of a limit, a bit of a cap in how much you can spend in each area to help you gain control. The second thing you need to do is prioritise your debt. So you know exactly what's coming in, what's going out. Actually, you now need to allocate exactly a certain amount of money to go towards paying debt. And if you can reduce and cut the amount that you are spending in unnecessary areas, you can then allocate that money straight away towards debt at the beginning of the month. So straight after payday is when I would always put that money straight onto the debt, because then you reduce that temptation to spend it on other things, and it will just mean that you don't have that wiggle room. You are being firm with yourself, and I think sometimes when it comes to debt it's easy to say, oh, I'm just never going to get out of it, I'll just pay the minimum and just see what happens. But the problem is that we have rising interest rates, we have increase in our bills, and that's just meaning that we are losing that control and we're losing that ability to focus in on clearing those debts. So if you can pay your money straight away onto your debt, you're going to reduce that temptation of spending it elsewhere. Obviously, don't put yourself spending too much towards your debt if you think that's going to make you struggle, but make sure that you put a certain amount at the beginning of each pay packet straight onto your debt to clear it. The third thing you need to do is automate your bills. This is going to really simplify your finances. If you're somebody that works on a monthly pay packet, I suggest that you allow yourself a couple of days, but the idea is that you get paid and then a couple of days later all of your bills or most of your bills will have come out. So I have them all set on direct debits. I know exactly what's coming out and they come out straight away so that I'm not worrying about where that money comes from, and automatically I know that what's left is for food and petrol and spend. It just means that I have a really good control of my finances. It then means I don't have to check my bank balance quite so often because I already know that those bills have come out. I don't need to be worrying about having enough money in the bank to pay for it. I know it's already dealt with. So already I have taken a lot of stress out of my finances. In that automating of bills, automate paying off a set amount into your debt. So you could set up a regular direct debit payment towards that debt that is at the beginning of the month, that's automatic and comes out straight away. So you can plan it in advance exactly how much a month you think you should be able to pay off, and set that up so you don't have to think about it. It's just taking away that extra need to log on, to put in the details to pay it off. It's just going to automate it and make things simpler. And that leads into number 4, which is create a simple plan and timeline for how you're going to clear your debt. So what I used to do was have the debt at the beginning of the spreadsheet, and I would work out how long it would take to pay off if I paid £50 a month, how much it would take me if I paid £75 a month or £100 a month, so that I had a rough idea of how long it was going to take me. And it was just quite reassuring that you could then kind of highlight or tick off every month that you've paid and see that figure go down. And it's just nice to have that overview. So you need to know exactly all of your debts, have them in a spreadsheet or on a piece of paper, and mark out how much you're going to pay off each month. Are you paying more than the allocated amount that was agreed on your financial agreement? And decide exactly how much it is you're going to have, so that you can know how long it's going to take you to get debt free. And then what you can do is, if you've got that plan in place and then you get extra money, you know which debt to put that money towards, because you know that that one's a higher interest, etc. And that is another thing to consider, is when you're paying off debt, try and pay off the highest interest rate first, because that's going to cost you more in the long run if you keep that one going. So if you've got a credit card, for example, that's on like 20% interest rate, I would look at clearing that one first as a priority. So keep your other payments and your other debts going with the regular financial agreement that you have set, but put any extra money onto that credit card to clear that one first. And then work through your next highest interest rate. Because if you do that, you're going to save money longer term, and it's going to help you to be able to put more money then into the other ones. If you pay off the other ones first, you're doing yourself a disfavour by doing that. Number 5 is to make sure you are spending less money. It sounds really obvious, but you need to get a track on what it is you're spending. So now that you know exactly your income, your outgoings, any extra money is spare money, it is spend money, and it can be too easy to buy that extra little thing at the supermarket in the middle aisle, or going and getting some extra little bits of clothing or knickknacks. Actually, you need to keep a track on this. If you're thinking about a minimalist lifestyle, if you have an idea of what you already have, you are less likely to want to be purchasing other things, and you will have a better control on your attitude towards money. So what you need to do is think about how you're spending your money and spend less on things that you don't need. So really think about whether or not you need that item. Ask yourself a few questions. Will I use it? Do I need it? Is it a duplicate? Is it going to serve a purpose? And if you're saying no to any of those things, then actually, do you really need it? So be really quite harsh on yourself and know that actually you could survive without those things. Just buy the necessary items. Having that focus is going to give you more spare money to then put towards your debt. And that is the goal. And number 6 is kind of leading on to that. If you're decluttering and reducing the amount of things in your home and getting that appreciation for the things that you have, think about what items you could sell that could earn some extra money to help pay off that debt. And it sounds like it's only going to be small little bits and pieces, like one piece of clothing, a couple of quid, another piece of furniture, maybe £10, but that all adds up. And I did that a lot when I was clearing out my home, and all that extra money got paid off towards the debt. And it does make a difference, it does help, and it's really important that you think about how having less stuff around you actually can be quite freeing, and it's stuff that you're probably not using and don't need. So why have them sat there that is pretty much money sat in your house when you could sell it and earn some extra money to help clear the debt? I just wanted to add in an overview of how much money I actually had of debt, which was over 6,000, and that is what I managed to clear within a year by doing these strategies, and it really did make a difference. So there's lots of things that minimalism can do to really help you focus in on your finances, help you declutter and earn money, and help you streamline your finances so that it's less of a burden. If you have control on your finances by automating bills, by having a clear plan of what you want to do to clear your debt, you are going to be feeling a lot calmer about the whole process, and that can be just as good as the feeling of when you clear that debt. I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know how you get on with these tips below, and if you want to see more videos on decluttering, minimalism and my no spend year, don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back with more videos soon. Take care. Bye.